Canadiens Golden Knights, Mario. The Canadiens are on the verge of going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since the 90s. It's a whole new world, Mario, in the sports world. You know what I mean? New narratives are being written. Cleveland Browns are once again a good franchise, and the Canadiens are one game away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Narratives are being changed. Welcome to the new decade. You know, a year late. But anyway, let's get to this game, Mario. I'll start off with the Canadian stats. They did a really good job on offense. Again, they won this game 4-1. Nick Suzuki had a goal. He also had 2 assists as well, so he did a really good job on offense, Mario. And the other three-way goals was Cole Caulfield, Jaspari Kotkaniemi, and Eric Stahl. So they all did a really good job. And there was also a few 4 players with assists. Well, 5 of them actually. I just mentioned Nick Suzuki. Tyler Toffoli also had 2 assists, so he did a really good job as well. Josh Anderson, Paul Bryan, and Corey Perry, Mario. They all have 1 assist. So overall, Mario, the Canadiens did a really good job. I'm pretty sure the last goal was an empty net goal. I didn't really watch this game a lot because I worked the overnight, so I watched a little bit of it on break, but I didn't watch the entire thing. But Carey Price, he saved 26 out of 27, Mario, which is a save percentage of 963. So he did a really good job. Now let me go to the Golden Knights, okay? Because the only goal came from Max Pacioretty. He had 1 goal, and then Nicholas Roy had an assist as well. And Marc-Andre Fleury did not have his best game. He saved 22 out of 25, which is a save percentage of 88. I mean, you can argue it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but again, in a crucial game like this, you can't be making mistakes like that. But let me go to the box stats, okay? Shots on goal, the Canadiens at 26 and the Golden Knights at 27, so they were pretty much even on that front. Face-off percentage, the Canadiens at 42.4% and the Golden Knights at 57.6. That shocks me. You know what else shocks me, Mario? A power play was made. The Canadiens had 1 out of 2. I'm proud. There was actually a power play made in this series. Like, my mind is blown. It's blown harder than my hair. Look at this. But anyway, let me all seriousness though, the Golden Knights had 0 out of 2, so there was only 1 power play made in total out of the 2 teams. Penalty minutes, both teams had 4. Hits wise, the Canadiens had 44 and the Golden Knights had 35. Blocks, the Canadiens had 18 and the Golden Knights had 8. Giveaways, the Canadiens had 4 and the Golden Knights had 14. And takeaways, both teams had 11. So honestly, Mario, everything went right for the Canadiens. They did a really good job. All the young guys stepped up. Eric Stahl, Tyler Toffoli, you know what I mean? Everybody stepped up. You know, it's a crucial game 5, and they won. Now they're on the verge of going to the Stanley Cup Finals. I got to give them a lot of credit. Now let me go to the Golden Knights, okay? Everything they're doing is just wrong. You know, they're winning their face-off percentages, right? Good. You're not making power plays, though. You're giving away the puck too much. You're taking away the puck a lot, which is good, but you're not doing anything like that. So my question is, what's your game plan? What are you doing? What's going on here? I couldn't tell you. You know, everything that the Golden Knights are trying to do, I'm not sure if they have the same game plan up or whatever they're doing. It's not working. You're going into a game 6. The Canadiens are on the verge of going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since the 90s. I mean, come on now. You got to figure something out here. Game 6 is absolutely crucial for both teams. Not just one or the other. It's for both teams. For Golden Knights to keep their season alive and for the Canadiens to finally go back to their former glory. You know, so I don't know what's gonna happen with the Golden Knights, but come game 6, which I believe is on Thursday night. I'll check. Yeah, it's gonna be on Thursday night, 8:00 on the USA Network in Montreal. So make sure you guys can check that out if you want to. But game 6 is crucial for both teams. You know, but as for the Canadiens, you know, Carey Price did a great job. Everybody else on that team did a great job. But if I'm the Golden Knights, Mario, for game 6, as much as we love Marc-Andre Fleury, start Robin Leonard. Just do it. Because look at how much better he's been when he covers for Marc-Andre Fleury. He's just been doing better. You know what I mean? He was the starting goalie when they beat the Avalanche. He was the starting goalie last game in game 5. I don't remember if he was game 4. I don't think he was game 3 though. No, he wasn't. So honestly, Mario, if I'm the Golden Knights, I gotta fix my game. I gotta go back to the draw. That's just the plan. And if I'm the Golden Knights, I don't know if your opinion is the same as mine, but I'm starting Robin Leonard over Marc-Andre Fleury. That's just what I'm doing. At this point, that's basically the only shot I got at winning this. Well, not the only shot. The other team, the other everybody else needs to show up. Defense needs to show up. Offense needs to show up. As for the Canadians, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing everything correct. You only made 1 out of 2 power plays, but at least you made one. I'll give you that. But if I look at the Canadians, Mario, one thing I have to tell them to do is you got to win your faceoffs. That's it. But other than that, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Keep dominating on offense. Keep dominating on defense. Carey Price needs to stay consistent. So that's really all I have to say about the Canadians. As for the Golden Knights, they need to figure something out. Offensively, defensively, their goaltending situation needs to be addressed. So with that being said, again, Game 6 is on Thursday night, 8 p.m. on the USA Network. So make sure you guys go check that out. And that being said, best of luck to both teams, and we'll see what happens in Game 6.
Yeah, look, Nate, this was overall it was a good win for the Canadians. That's all I really got to say. It was overall a good win for the Canadians because they were getting their goals when they needed to. That was one. They started off early. They had a 3-0 lead. Vegas got 1 goal, but they didn't let them catch up. Basically, after that, Canadians ended up scoring and they ended up securing the win because it ended up turning into an empty net. But the Canadians did an absolutely good job offensively and defensively. And as for the Vegas Knights, it's the complete opposite. They didn't. They didn't play like a top 5 offense nor a top 5 defense. We talked about it so many times in this series how the Vegas Knights have not been a top 5, have not looked like a top 5 offense. They've only looked like a top 5 defense. Well, in this game, they didn't look like a top 5 offense nor defense. Now, you can point to like Marc-Andre Fleury and how he let go of 3 goals. You can do that. And 88% is not his best game, but I wouldn't if you want to replace him, like to each his own, but I wouldn't even do that. I don't even think it's necessary. All I know is whatever happened in this game, again, like you said, it's going back to the drawing board. You look at the type of things that Vegas didn't do well. Again, like you said, they were getting out hit. So therefore, Montreal was the more aggressive team. Montreal had 10 more blocks than them. So therefore, again, defensively, they were stopping shots. Giveaways, they had 10 less giveaways than them, and that was definitely a big reason why the Canadians had the puck in their possession a lot more. And then takeaways, they were equal. However, that doesn't really matter. When the shots that they were getting, they were taking advantage of them, and they did a great job. Overall, it was a great game. They didn't need to be over aggressive. They didn't have to shoot over 30 times because they knew the game plan. They knew how to execute it, and they did that. They just simply executed the game plan better than the Vegas Knights. Now, on the Vegas Knights, when you get into next game, Marc-Andre Fleury has to have a great game, and that defense does too. It's as simple as that. And that offense, and for some reason, Nate, this offense is just not clicking. I don't understand why, but it's just not clicking the way that we expect it to click. Like when we were reading the stats, this was one of the only teams that was top 5 in defense and offense. So far, they haven't played like it this entire, not just the series, but the entire playoff itself. Now again, it's not over yet. The Vegas Knights have had some very exciting series this year. With going 7 games with the Wild, and I believe they went 6 games with the Avalanche. Correct?
Correct.
So overall, I'm not going to count them out yet. But I will say this: the Vegas Knights have got to play better offensively. I think that's the first step. Offensively, they just haven't been able to click for some reason. Defensively, the Canadians have been on their game, and that's the reason why they keep on. That's the reason why they're in this 3-2 lead in the series. It's as simple as that. Guys like Kotkaniemi, Jack Anderson, Nick Suzuki, guys like them, they have really been stepping up. Even Eric Stahl had a great game. Like Tyler Toffoli, another guy, they're stepping up as a team. Caulfield, he's had a good series so far. He's been doing some good things. So overall, it just seems like the Canadians are getting more involved. And defensively, it seems like they're doing the right things opposed to the Vegas Knights. You're not out hitting them. You're not getting the puck in your possession more. I mean, you're doing it with the faceoff percentages. That's great. But what's the point of that if you're not going to keep it, And again, in this game, it was all the reason why the Canadians won. They got ahead early. Simple as that. They got ahead early. They put the pressure on Vegas. They were up 3-1. Vegas ended up emptying their net, and they got the last goal. Okay, honestly, Nate, the Vegas Knights offensively, they've been disappointing me this entire playoffs. Defensively, they've been decent. This game, obviously, they weren't that good, but defensively, they've been fine. Offensively, they just haven't been able to click the way they needed to. And a lot of their losses, Nate, if you look at them, have been 2-1 losses. A lot of them have been 2-1 losses because offensively, they just can't click. You know, defensively they've been great. Offensively, they haven't been able to click. But this game, you weren't good defensively or offensively. I'm just being honest. You know, you could point to Marc-Andre Fleury, but at the end of the day, again, you stopped them from. You didn't let them get a lot of shots on goal, which is good. But on the other hand, you let them capitalize on the shots that they had. They found the opportunity, Canadians, and the Canadians took it. The Vegas Knights did not stop those opportunities. So if I'm them, I'm going back to the drawing board. I'm watching film. I'm looking at what went wrong here, and here, and I'm correcting that. You know, guys like Kotkaniemi, guys like Jack Anderson, guys like Caulfield, you know, these Suzuki, these guys, they need to be stopped. You know, you need to defend them better than what they've been doing, you know? Look, I talked about it so many times. I talked about it with the Colorado Avalanche. We talked about that first line that they had and how dominant they were. You could stop, again, they were easy to stop because that first line, in order to stop them, you had to beat that first line. This team, it's just as hard, but for different reasons. The reason why it's just as hard is because the entire team is getting involved. So it's hard to figure out who to double team and who not to, you know, and how to set up a game plan to stop them. When you have like a big three, a big four, all you got to, the one game plan is stop that big three, stop that big four, and force somebody else to make a move. You know, that's basically what it is. In this case, that's not the case. You got to literally stop everybody because the Canadians they don't have that like great player, you know, like a Nate McKinnon. They don't have that great player like a Kucherov or a Braden Point. They like a Connor McDavid or a David Pastrnak. They don't have those guys, but they got a whole team, a team around them that is able to have some type of chemistry, and they're all doing. And again, they're all contributing at once, and that's almost just as scary as having a big three, big four. So if I'm the Vegas Knights again, you got to defend them better. It's as simple as that. Than what you did this game. And defensively, the Knights have been fine. But offensively, you got to be clicking better on all cylinders. Offensively, people are just not showing up, Nate. Simple as that. But you know what? I gotta give a lot of credit to Max Pacioretty. He's been doing an absolutely great job in this series, you know, and I wish the Vegas Knights the best of luck. I hope that he can actually bring this team together and offensively they can do what they're supposed to do. But next game is going to be in Montreal, I believe.
Yeah.
So next game is going to be in Montreal. It's probably going to be on Friday.
It's on Thursday.
Thursday. All right. So Thursday it's going to be on. So we'll see what happens with that, Nate, you know, and I wish both teams the best of luck. As for the Vegas Knights, you got to be better offensively than what you've been. As for the Canadiens, what you did in this game, continue to do it for Game 6. And then next thing you know, the Montreal Canadiens are going to the Stanley Cup. You're one game away. Do not blow it.